anymore.
She went through this big phase. Well, she's still doing it, like where she's over the material things. Even she used to excessively buy the shit, and now she's just gonna throw it all away. Like, don't try to have a yard sale or anything.
I had that phase.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yard sales are hard to take work in the day.
Wildly Uninteresting podcast episode. Is it 96?
96.
I don't know.
Damn.
I thought it was 100.
You definitely did think it was 100.
You thought it was 100, and we just didn't have sex woods on last week.
Yeah. Fuck him. Bust ass sucker.
96. Sorry about that. I had to check and make sure.
You can't dunk on nothing.
No, you sure can't.
All right. Well, welcome back
get a few
to
safeties, though.
the Wildly Uninteresting podcast.
Hello.
I'm Adam. This is Ian. That's Sarah.
I'm Sarah.
Giving you all the facts of what's going on in the world today. Not really, because we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
What are facts?
I think a lot of people should stop caring. I won't even be mean about it, but people should stop caring what the hell's going on around them. I think a lot of people give a shit about stuff that's going around them, so they don't have to turn the mirror onto themselves.
Yeah, they definitely want to avoid that.
Yeah. I think because
it's a pain.
It is a pain, and I've realized that when I do it, it freaks me out. So if that's me, because I feel like I'm pretty self-conscious, I feel like a lot of people that use material things to cover, those flaws up, I feel like they have a hard time doing that, right?
Yeah. It's like you eat Cheetos all your life, and then you think, maybe I should go to the gym. It's so fucking hard.
Then you remember how good Cheetos actually are.
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
I can just keep buying shit.
Every time I eat
fixing me.
Cheetos, I eat almost the entire bag, and then
Every
I feel
time.
like I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
I can't stop myself.
Nor should you.
They're so good.
Cheeto, the white cheddar puffs, right? I feel like I used to make fun of kids or parents that give their kids the Cheeto puffs and they're just eat your puffs and shut the fuck up.
Eat your puffs.
But I don't think parents really realize I feel my addictive personality come out in a bag of chips. I'm telling you, because I'll start to eat and I'm like, as much as I want to put them down, the feel of them, the taste of them, the smell, the crunch, all of it has been designed to keep me eating them.
You're like, I'll just eat one more. Then
Yes,
you eat one more. You're
that's
like,
just it.
one more handful.
That's how I am with Smarties. I take 8 or 10 of them to bed with me every night.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah,
I
that's
told
another
him, I'm very specific about which ones I like. Walmart sells a 5-pound bag, and I don't know what happens in the process, but they're softer. Usually Smarties are a little bit harder, but the 5-pound bag is soft and it crumbled. It's so fucking good. Everything about the texture is so much better than a regular Smartie.
Makes you wonder if that's a psychological thing or if there's truly a difference.
There absolutely is. We should do scientific
I would
tests.
say we should do scientific tests for sure, a
Yeah.
pressure test, hardness, softness.
I was thinking just throw her a
contents.
good one and throw her a shit one. Say, here, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Could you imagine,
yeah, we can do that too.
Could you imagine
We do both
sending
those
those 2 Smarties off from the different one right in baggies, sending it to have it in a what is that, spectrograph? They actually do the shoot the fucking beam at it and stuff, and get the actual contents and the level of contents in each one of them. The people in the lab would be like, this is what we've amounted to. Idiots sending us Smarties. I guess if you're willing to pay though.
Yeah, I'd be
they're gonna
willing to pay.
Yeah.
Be like that guy on Always Sunny where he's just like, oh, I just wanted to look at a piece of shit, bro.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. No, I think though, it's all designed for you to continue eating, but I don't think parents realize that they're creating an addictive behavior in their kid.
I think they do. I just think they don't care because it keeps a kid out of their hair.
It's just chips. Who cares?
It's just chips.
Yeah, he leaves me alone when he eats chips.
When he plays chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know every time I eat Smarties, because he said something to me one time. He was like, that's they make them this way because of that reason. Now every single night since then, it's been months, I'm eating them and I'm like, they are doing this to me.
I forgot what the exact
this.
number is, but that's Elon Musk come out with all those numbers and was like the amount of money that all these psychologists and they're spending to get like the facts of like what makes you tick, what keeps your attention, what keeps you from like going outside of the realm of whatever and creating and doing and whatever, like what keeps you hooked on things.
Right.
They spend more money in that than they ever did in research and development for name the fucking category.
Nikes.
Yeah. No, they would do the same because they want you to look at their shoes and be like, that's sexy. Let me put them on my feet.
I just love that shoe. Makes my
I wonder if people think
pussy
that, though.
wet. I was trying to think of a way to say wet ass pussy, but you can't make that fit
Can't put 'em
into
together.
there.
It brings my WAP into reality.
Keep trying. You'll get it one of these days.
Can you tell how uncomfortable I was about to say that?
A little
Like,
bit.
yeah.
But
My God.
I felt like you got more comfortable as you were going.
I know.
You said it
You
once.
even-
And
You eventually gave up. You're like, fuck it.
Yeah,
pussy.
it's all right, pussy.
That's weird, though, that you felt uncomfortable. You have a
know.
pussy.
I
It'd be
know.
different like me. I can call somebody a pussy and feel fine. But if I'm like, all right, and if like we're having a serious conversation about your pussy, I don't even want to call it a pussy if I'm having a serious conversation. Like pussy's just a fucked up word to me. Like where I'm like, you pussy, or you sound like a pussy,
This
or
fucking pussy.
man, fuck her right in the pussy. That kind of thing.
Yeah. But if you want to say it seriously about a vagina, it's
Vagina.
like pretty much only during sex is it
It's
acceptable.
the only acceptable time.
Otherwise, you're like, what if I said?
what is coming out of my mouth?
It's definitely one of my least favorite words. I don't particularly care for it. Now, calling someone a pussy is different. It doesn't feel weird coming out, but
If we're talking
referring
about
to it is weird.
your pussy, it's not, even if I use vagina, isn't vagina the wrong
Vagina.
word too? It's labia, right?
It would.
Or no, that's the
labia is
lips
part of it.
part of it.
Yeah.
But isn't there, that vagina is
I know. I'm
technically
trying to
not
think
the name
of
of
what
it.
the all-inclusive term would be.
Yeah.
Female genitalia. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, good one. Very descriptive. I know what
I'm
you're
willing to
talking
bet
Is it not?
$3 that the vagina is the whole thing.
You think $3?
Yes.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Okay.
I got $3.
Good deal.
I'm always willing to lose that.
Because I mean, there's the labia,
You looking it up?
and then there's the
Yeah.
clitoris, and then there's the
There's labia
The foot.
major and minor.
Uh.
So you get the big lips and then the inner lips.
Vagina.
It makes it seem like a horror movie creature. It's under your bed. It's going to eat you with both of its mouth lips.
Mouth lips. It's a slow death too because there's no
Ah.
teeth whatsoever.
Vagina diagram.
It might
No,
be like
well,
I don't know.
It depends on what you're talking about because this is actually
hole or the outside?
The hole is the vagina.
So what would be
so-
the outside?
What's that?
Outer labia, inner labia, clitoris hood, urethra opening.
Oh, okay.
So like the
Anus.
vagina is like the dick hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except not because there is a urethra, but
Did you type
Okay.
in scientific name for vagina?
I didn't, but I will now.
Try that. See if something comes up. Well, I don't want to dig too deep.
Well,
'cause
that's like
vagina's pretty-
Vaginosaurus reximus. So everybody knows
That's
that.
Put it down. That's it. My money's on that for sure. No, man.
Oh my god.
You see a lot of vaginas.
Oh, that was awful.
Do you want me to look?
No, I'm trying to get
Oh,
vulva.
it's a gaping pussy.
It's a gaping hole.
Vulva is the correct name
Vulva.
for the external parts.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
But
and
that's
then
not the.
vagina is the hole.
So which one
it's-
were you talking about? No.
I was thinking like the collective down there.
Yeah.
I would say vagina would be collective. Like if I'm talking about your
No,
vagina.
vulva would be. Vagina is just the hole.
Just the hole. Yeah.
So I guess it really, I mean, you have to get very specific. So if you're having
Yeah.
a conversation about a vagina, are you thinking all inclusive, everything down there, or just
I
the
would
hole?
say that the reason why this is so difficult is because it's on a woman, and maybe women were like trying to figure it out, and they were just like that. Where men were just like, it's a penis, and then they're like, but there's different. It's a penis.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
there's
I
no
know
other
that-
word.
Well, there's a shaft or there's a corona, and then there's a
Is
head.
there a corona? What's the corona?
Yeah, it's that little ridge there at the top. Like,
Oh
you know,
yeah,
you get your little hole
do
in
know
like the
that.
head, and then that little
yeah, that little bloop,
Yeah.
bloop, bloop.
that little thing there. Yeah.
Bloop, bloop.
So when I learned that, I was like, ha ha ha, beer drinkers.
Then I'll take back my what's the word? We're men misogynistic viewpoint on the word vagina and vulva and thing. I made a,
Yeah,
I mean, I
there's-
stand by you. I
misogynistic
think women
joke.
are too stupid to specify the parts of it.
Oh yeah, if you talk to most women, they have no idea,
idea.
what the other stuff is called.
And that's why yeast infections and pregnancy run rampant.
Yes.
I would say too, don't ever look for like the energy spot because I don't think it exists.
Energy spot.
I
What?
found it.
Did you?
Oh, the G spot. Energy.
Inner
G spot. I was like, what the fuck is an energy,
The energy
spot?
spot. Whenever she's too tired for sex, you just poke that thing. It's on.
right up.
Yes.
Are you gonna fuck
Crazy.
tonight, boy?
Here's what I found. It's
Oh,
That's-
okay.
I know.
I don't
I
like
got you.
it.
It's from
You
like
don't like it?
like a dead body. They took it out and showed it.
Jesus, Lord have mercy.
They cross-sectioned the vagina. No, but
just
no, it's
nasty.
super weird, man. Yeah, I don't even know what we were talking about before the vagina
So
conversation.
who won? Like, do I owe you money?
I feel
I
like
don't
it's
know.
a draw. I feel
think
like
it's a draw. Yeah, because
'Cause technically-
you need to
Yeah.
count on that win.
Pooh nanny. Oh my goodness.
No,
So what's up with everything else that you want to talk about?
I don't know. There's not a whole lot ever
Then
going
shut
on.
up and listen to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's what we're gonna do.
All right, I'm down. Was that it?
Yeah, it was.
So speaking of silence, dude, I've been really into looking up these cults, if you will. They don't like specifically say they're cults, but they're cults, right?
Well, no place does.
There was this guy. He's a young guy, and he's more for like the younger millennial generation. And was that Gen Z after that and shit, whatever. But he's geared towards them and their thought process and all that shit. And like the interviewer is sitting there with the guy trying to talk to him, and he was like, "All right, do you want to have a sit down conversation? You want to connect?" And she's like, "Yeah, I want to like get down to the bottom of it." The dude just goes completely silent for like 20 minutes, staring her directly in the eye, no blinking,
Yeah.
and smiles. That's it. So like the thing was like 20 minutes later, and he's just still sitting there. And then he was like, "Okay, let's talk." Like he was, I guess, connecting with
He had
his
to
soul. I guess.
Prepare
Yeah.
himself.
It's like I get it.
Yeah, but it
If
made
you
me
can sit
wonder.
in silence, then you can really get on with somebody.
Hell yeah! It made me wonder, like, how often do you sit in silence and just physically be with somebody, like in their presence, you in their presence? Like, how often do you actually do that? Most of the time,
I did it the other day, but it was to somebody that I don't really know very well,
just trying to get them to walk away.
and I just kind of looked. You know, it was essentially like that. I just kind of looked him in the eye, and I smiled.
Yeah.
There's.
So sometimes I think though that awkward moment is probably the best moment you'll ever
Maybe it was
have with
Casper.
another human.
There was always yeah, you don't know that well.
I don't know. I mean,
There-
I've only known her a few months.
there's whenever we would do training, they would talk about the silence because you have to sit there sometimes and be quiet and let the other person like gather their thoughts and things like that. The therapeutic silence. It was always you got to get comfortable with the therapeutic science because a lot of people are silent. Sorry, a lot of people are so uncomfortable with it. They'll just talk and talk and talk and
Yeah, about nothing.
yeah, and you really have to just kind of sit there, which that's, it's a counseling session. It's a little bit different, but, it's odd.
It's also like, shut the fuck up. Just sit there in silence.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Every time you say something, I'm going to shoot you with the Nerf gun.
Yes.
In the
That'd be
face.
awesome. So
You were wanting
Oh.
to show you something.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so
Yeah,
I was
something
looking
was
up
funny.
alternative names for your Jeaner.
Oh.
And number 7 is Jack Nasty Face. It was from 1823.
They're just coming up with shit. Jack Nasty Face. That's just
Jack Nasty Face.
that's
I like
just
it.
horrible.
What was the one from your notes?
Ooh, hang on. It's so good. Oh, man.
Oh, okay.
I said,
Get it.
hold on.
Get a little Jack Nasty Face.
Cecily Bum Trinkets.
Yes.
Cecily Bumtrigger. I think that's like a what do they use that at? Like, who uses that?
That was a one from like back in the day. I don't
It sounds
know.
very British.
British, yeah. I was thinking that or European.
Bum drink it.
Bum drink it. That's probably, I swear, I bet if you looked it up, that's probably where it originated.
Absolutely.
And you motherfuckers eat fortune cookies all the time. Did you know that they did not originate in
Yeah.
China?
San Francisco, maybe.
Yeah, San Francisco. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy bastards.
Those bastards.
Was it even in Chinatown?
Probably not.
No, probably not.
God, I don't know why, but my brain makes a connection to like high school geometry.
Yeah.
For the
Fortune cookies,
Wow.
and it's, I don't know, it's like a deja vu moment, and then it connects. So it's like
Yeah.
San Francisco fortune cookies, geometry,
Interesting.
and yeah.
It's a very weird time to think about geometry.
I can't fucking, for the life of me, find the name, because, like, I don't know if they have a name, but the dude wants to, like, upgrade civilization. He wants to create enlightenment and self-realization. This all sounds like things that come, like, pretty much like a cult. And he believes, like, 9/11 was an inside job, of course. That he can change the weather by thought, of course.
Yeah, I'll get on that.
And,
no, I like it this way.
And we might one day join forces with the aliens.
Hell yeah.
And then, like, you know, whatever. But, yeah, you can look the guy up. It was on, it's called, maybe it's called the Believers. I don't know. He calls himself a guru, but he's young as shit with no knowledge or nothing. The way he taught, like, it's just, like, typical fucking out there shit. And it makes you wonder, like, about the human condition, because most of these people were, like, let's just say they were white, upper class, right? That went to these things. I called Sarah after I watched it. I was like, look, I got to get these thoughts out. Because my thought process is
otherwise I'm going to go join.
one of two people join these things. You have, like, kids, like your Gen Z and millennials and stuff like that.
I'm a millennial.
That come from an upgraded, like, family. Like, the family is wealthy, well off. And the kid really didn't have to try for much, right? They weren't poor, and they didn't have to play a lot of sports, whatever. They're lost when they get out into the real world. They don't have an identity yet. Such with the other people that go in, have spent their whole life making money, buying materialistic things. They get down to the end of their life, and they're like, holy shit, like, this isn't making me happy. It never has. So they're like, let me go join this guy that has all the answers. He's going to teach me enlightenment.
He's got all the answers.
Clearly, look at him.
Yeah.
And in doing that, I feel like those people are falling into the same trap, and they're using money to try to buy this enlightenment and happiness.
I look at it like when you play Grand Theft Auto anything.
Yeah.
And you've beaten the story, and you have like $40 million.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
like, there's nothing else to do, so you're like, what kind of weird little secret shit can I find that's gonna take time? You know?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like their energy could be directed a lot better. But I think that's who these people gear their things towards, like whatever their cult is about, right? Lost people or people who just need answers and stuff. I think a lot of people in the human condition need answers, and the Bible has never given us answers. Teachings throughout history, even science has not really given you answer. You know what I mean? To your true happiness or to yourself.
It's like a constant pursuit of it, but there's no real answer. There's just, well, I can get a little closer.
Yeah.
It's the idea that if you go halfway somewhere, you'll always be moving, but you'll never get there.
You're never quite there. Even at the end of your life, you have all this wisdom, but then you have no body, no physical self to play out the wisdom, right? So I may know all the secrets at the end of my life, but I'm too worn out and tired and old.
But then that shit carries over into your next life, and it's like new game plus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So do you? I got a question, because I kind of lately, with like reading up on these stories about, you know, they have people who study end of life care and shit, that moment right before death where they visit family or they're crossing over and they see angels and all this other shit, are people who are brought back and they had an out-of-body experience, stuff like that. A lot of those type of things, right? And it makes me wonder, like, the more and more I watch things like that and read on these moments, right, the more I think, like, there might be, like, this secondary place that we go, our energy goes to wait, and then, like, we're just cycled back into the whatever. I don't know when that cycle ends. I don't know if that's true, but the more I like watch those things, I'm like, I believe that, especially like with the astral travel shit or astral projection shit. Like I can believe that, like that there's something beyond physical and consciousness. There's something beyond that for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I can agree with that. I don't know if it's a specific location or not.
No.
Right.
I don't know enough about anything to make that decision, but yeah, I could definitely see energy going somewhere.
I think too,
Purgatory.
with that, like them teaching people to, shut the fuck up and just be and exist. Like the dude's really just giving them things that they already know. But I feel like they feel like they're doing something
like
while they're
reaffirming it.
Yeah, and they're with these group of people with like-minded thing or whatever. You're just believing the same shit.
It's interesting to me that people feel the need to be around other people when trying to find self-happiness. Like,
Yeah.
why do you think that being around other people is going to help you with that?
Well, you gotta start somewhere. Maybe
I
they could
guess
take
that's
like
true.
monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah,
Like, oh, okay, that's a good practice.
learn something.
I'll do
and-
that. But if you don't take it home and do it yourself, then you're an idiot.
Right.
You'll never get there.
And a lot of those people, because, me and Sarah have talked, and I've talked to you about it, like just moving out to, a piece of land in the country and living off the land or whatever, just getting the fuck away, right? And as good as that is, and I believe that that's good, or like going and just doing or whatever, there's times that I felt like I've had 4 days off, let's say, right?
Yeah.
And by the end of those 4 days, I'm like super depressed and super like, what am I doing with my life? And then when I go back to work and I'm working hard, or say I got a 14-hour day or some shit, I feel I'm back to me. You know what I mean? Like, even though the 4 days were good, like I wasn't doing anything progressive, right?
Yeah.
So I think the things we run from are the things that make us who we are.
Yeah.
Well, the real struggle isn't figuring out who you should be. It's being content with who you are.
And where you're at, like, currently, instead of trying to
You know
get...
what band said that?
Who? Arlington?
No. The Ataris. A good band.
It's a good band.
That did fuck me up. Did you tell him about that shit?
Yeah.
God.
Hell yeah.
Because he was doing it. I was like, I was like, what the fuck is that?
It's so familiar.
Yes.
I like that he knew the song. You think he was like sitting at home and like, I'm gonna fuck with him so hard.
Oh, yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Amy, Gary, what the fuck is this? Why do I know this? We play this, right?
I got a question.
No.
Wasn't it just the drum beat? And then you were like, that's probably the hardest thing, too. It's probably a very distinctive riff.
Yeah.
Because drum beats, there's only a certain amount of drum beats that you're like, I know that fucking song. Because sometimes they're just drum beat. Like, it
Danny
is what it
always
is.
had very specific. I mean, once you get like into the meat and bones, it would be pretty consistent, but
He had very
creative.
particular moments.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like a Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. If somebody played that, you'd know.
Yeah.
The Pretender from...
I don't know what that is.
You do too, from the Foo Fighters. Pretender. Yeah. You'd know that. Art, Killing in the Name of.
Yeah.
Like, you'd know that for sure.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Definitely.
Like those big name fucking songs you would definitely, but it's weird, though, that you recognized it like that. But, I mean, I guess you played it for a year.
Yeah.
A year or so. More years than that. I don't know.
More years than that.
How
Felt
old
like
were
a
you when you were in
lifetime.
that band? A band in
I don't know.
Arlington? You don't remember
early,
what age?
I
Early
was gonna say-
20s?
I was gonna say, I think that I was like beginning college, so
Yeah.
like the early years of it.
Early
so I would
years.
you'd be like 22, 23
Yeah,
for
it'd be-
however long it lasted.
It'd be weird. Something else that's weird. I had a buddy over the other day, and I have a story that I tell about growing up, and that we were like taking weed from this guy, right? And I have this whole story worked up in my head. I'm like, because I remember, I think I remember, because we always talk about memory and people thinking about when things happen, and really you're only thinking about the last time you thought about it. You're not remembering the original incident.
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, I remember it one way, and I was telling him this. I was like, do you remember? And he was like, that's not how it happened. We were in my dad's truck, not, your vehicle. And I'm like, bro, you only called me to help you with it because you
didn't
needed
have
a
a
vehicle. But are my facts wrong? Or it's crazy how two people's story can be so entirely different.
Yeah.
It does seem really odd to me that you wouldn't be with him and he would call you and say, "Hey, I want to go rob this dude for his weed." Like,
Maybe it was like 20 pounds of weed, and he was like, I can't run and carry it.
it seems so odd to me.
Yeah, but it got me thinking about like kind of questioning all the memories that I do have. I'm like, are they exactly how I remember them? That's why I hope that we become like we have a time travel per se. That way we can go back like a fly on the wall and just look at the past. I don't want to go fuck anything up or mess with it or be like Back to the Future.
Watch your life as a movie.
Yeah, I just want to like click on like a certain timeline and be like, yeah, remember that time that girl raped me?
Yeah, dude. So nonchalant.
So nonchalant.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those are the things. I wish that when we get to that point, somebody explained time travel like that, like you were editing a video on Premiere Pro where you could see the entire timeline. You couldn't really do anything to it physically, but you could just see it all.
Yeah.
And I can see how time travel would become that.
I feel like that would be a lot easier to get to. I mean, that would probably be the first step of time travel, is figuring out how to do that, and then you figure out how to actually go
put
there.
yourself physically into that space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably be easier that way. I have no clue about quantum physics.
Seems reasonable that it would just be like going to a point in the distance and then manipulating light, and then you could watch it. And
They talk about, because you think about the vastness of the universe, and when they talk about the closest things, like the Andromeda Galaxy is like 200 million light years away. Think about 1 light year away, right? You would have to be traveling the speed of light an entire year to get there. Think about that.
You definitely have to.
I think about it sometimes, and it fucks me up.
You've got to be able to find a way to travel that fast, or it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So,
oh God.
So they're like, oh, the universe is like 13 billion light years across, and you could travel the speed of light for like 10 billion years, and you're still not there.
You're still not even close. But so it made me think, like, because there's a story of this like farm boy, like the aliens come through his door.
Is this Superman?
No, they put him on a fucking ship, and then he was like, we were in this ship, and I could see out the window. And he said the ship was pointed at a star, and he said that the ship powered up, and it brought the star closer to us. So it's almost like they pulled in the star, and then they were just there. There was no actual travel. It was manipulating gravity around them.
Hell yeah.
To put them into that point that they had, whatever. And then you talk about like quantum physics. They were like, you don't need to travel that fast. You just need to learn how to manipulate time and space to fold it in on each other to put the point that you want to get to as close to you as possible. So there's not actually travel going on. There's no propulsion. There's none of that.
So with all of our collective intelligence, how the fuck would you ever begin to do something like that? How do you bend space and time?
I don't think that's for the common man to figure out. I think that will come to us by accident.
It's just a matter of it's actual like material, like it's matter.
Yeah.
So it would be like folding Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just on a huge scale.
Yeah,
so you'd have to have an
bigger.
ungodly amount of like energy. And,
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think, and it takes us getting to, what do they call that? A Dyson sphere, maybe. But you build a sphere around the sun, and then you harness every bit of the sun's energy, and that amount of energy could create the energy needed for that type of travel. And until we get to something like that, I mean, for what we have here on Earth and our capabilities, we're old age, like we're medieval times right now.
We're gonna need another Roswell or two.
Quite a few.
Before we're good.
I know I was talking about like wanting to be taken by aliens, but I want to see proof, like one like crash, and then I'm driving by accident before the Men in Black get there.
Yeah.
And then like I see some like alien hand out of a ship. That's it.
You're like, oh shit, man, let me help you.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be nervous, or do you think you'd actually be able to?
I would assume he was in a weakened state. Oh, look at this broke ass alien.
Well, then you got to think
Let's go rape it. I wouldn't rape it.
Put a finger in it.
the few stories that there are of having like interactions with aliens,
Yeah.
you know, the humans ended up with like radiation poisoning and they died not long after.
Yeah.
So would you even want to touch them because you don't know?
I'd risk it. Sounds like it's a fucking alien. It's all I've wanted.
Yes, life is complete.
And if
Yeah.
you see an alien,
Melting.
I don't think you would fear death as much. If I saw something that was completely out of this world, would you really fear death?
It would depend on what kind of alien it was.
Yeah.
Because if it's like the ones from Alien, it's like the xenomorph.
I'm fucking with
Fuck
it.
that.
Yes.
I'm gone. But like if it's it's a little gray or a green man or maybe a reptilian,
Yeah,
But
you okay with that?
Well,
Maybe.
my
Maybe.
issue wouldn't be, am I gonna die? I just don't. It's pain. If I'm gonna die of radiation poisoning, I don't want to be poisoned with radiation. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Kill me, but a different fucking way,
my
dude.
skin's falling off.
Yeah, it's not the
Still?
death part. It's all the stuff that happens while you're
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah. But I figured the stuff that was relating to that, it was either the ship itself was emitting shit,
Yeah.
or it was the early stages of a government body recreating what they had and they hadn't mastered it yet.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
But it makes you think, like, maybe we're already there. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of things are suppressed. Now, I don't believe that because I feel like we'd be more advanced than we are, and we wouldn't. They wouldn't be like catalysts for, groups of people trying to get us to pay attention to like media or eating bags of chips or some shit. I feel like they would at least trickle down some knowledge to us and be like, look, you need to quit living like this weird, impulsive social media life where you lie about everything.
People aren't going to believe shit.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't
And
think they will,
Even
man.
if they release things, I mean, to the stars, they've put out the government videos and shit. And people are still like, nah.
Nah.
And then, in like, 120, 140 days, they're going to release the shit. We're all like, oh, it's going to be redacted.
Yeah.
They've been releasing shit for years,
Yeah.
but nobody believes anything.
People still don't. Yeah.
That's
Plus the technology, I feel like they hold on to it.
Yeah.
And they're not going to release anything until they have what's beyond that.
Yeah, definitely not. And then I'm sure they weigh the cost of should the people have this or should we just keep it to ourselves and use it with the military or something so we can fuck people
Let's
up
kill
better.
Afghanistan with it.
Right.
And it makes you wonder too, which I'm sure that currency is just like a metaphor for the people to keep
Yeah.
them, chasing after something, right? Because it's you were beyond that. Like it becomes a thing where the things aren't worth money. If we know that there's technology out there where we can get to other universes and shit,
Right.
or other galaxies for that matter,
The economy would crumble.
yeah, like
Everyone would stop working.
because if we all know that as a collective and we know that eventually the earth is going to run out of resources, we know that, right? Why would you put a price on things when technically they're only worth the value you put on them?
Mm-hmm.
So all the companies come together because we got to get the fuck off this planet of ours,
Right.
and we have to create a civilization. We got to get the fuck out of here, right? The money doesn't matter anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what?
It's going to take so long for shit to get fucked. We
Yeah.
don't care.
Just a slow burn. It's like, fuck it, let it happen. I don't know. That's the time I'm waiting for, is when something catastrophic happens. Not like bad, but good. Like some information comes out and then people are like, why are we worried about money? Like they finally realize, like, why am I chasing after this paper? And they get off the treadmill, turn the TV off, and like,
I just feel like greed is such a powerful thing that they would never stop caring about the money. It wouldn't matter what's going on.
Plus, it's a much simpler way of surviving
yeah.
than having to build your own house, grow your own shit, kill your own things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, we don't have money. It's like, here, get out there, hunt something.
They don't want that.
No.
We watched
people in Texas do.
watched a whole documentary on why people we're constantly, the things that we do are all because we all fear death. Like we're all trying to like get our minds off the fact that we're dying. And you think about, I was thinking about that when I was driving and you see the people like talking to their car because, on Bluetooth and shit. And it's like, I wonder how often do you think, how often those people, like the people that you see during the day worried about their dumb shit, think about like it's gonna, like, I'm gonna die. Like, a lot of people, they gather materialistic things and they worry about these materialistic things so that they don't have to worry about dying. And it makes you wonder, like, I think about it almost every day, but most people, I feel like they're ignoring the fact that that's going to happen. They're ignoring the fact that they're getting older.
Yeah.
Like, how can I can have kids and I can watch them grow up vicariously through them. I won't feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
I feel
There's
like I'm brand new.
definitely people are seriously scared of dying. So much to the point that they don't think about it. They don't ever want to think about it. They don't create a will or an advance directive.
I was thinking about making a will yesterday.
I think about it on a regular basis, dude. When we got married, I started thinking about it.
Yeah.
We should definitely do one. I don't know why we haven't.
Because you think you're never going to die.
Right?
As
Yeah.
you're like,
Melt.
I'll get to it. I'll get to it later. It's gonna be like time to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most people don't think that it's gonna happen anytime.
And I'm going to
Like,
swoop in. Adam was my secret lover. All the shit's mine.
all of it's mine.
He
I'll just-
promised me.
I'll just go on the air now and say, just give everything to Ian and he can deal with the shit. Done. Living
Done.
will.
I don't really need anything, though. You can have it.
But
Alright,
I'm
we can
dead, so I
burn
don't
it.
give a fuck.
Oh, great. Yeah, let me get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
I assumed you were
burn
going to
it.
outlive him.
Oh, I just assumed we died at the exact same time.
Oh, God. Lucky.
That's our plan,
Uh-huh.
is to just like die at the right time.
Holding hands.
right time.
And we shit on ourselves together.
Together, we're gonna shit on each other,
Mm-hmm.
so that the person that has to come pick us up has to clean the shit
And
off
they're
of
like,
us.
oh, they shit together.
Aw.
That's a beautiful sentiment, but
Beautiful.
definitely not. I told Sarah, I hope that she dies before me, and that's like,
Yeah.
it's not selfless by no means. It's more of like so that she don't have to like do life without me.
Yeah, I don't want to do that at all.
So I'd rather
I
go
always
through
do
the
that.
pain of
I
her
just
dying.
hope to die first.
Yeah,
Yeah. Get me out.
give me. I don't want to wait around.
You can
I
learn to
remember
live
my-
with me. You can learn to live without me.
Remember my grandpa
terrible.
and watching life go on after losing a loved one so soon. You know, she died in her 50s.
Yeah.
And which he just, I mean, automatically went to church looking for somebody to have sex with. Like, I mean, I don't even think my grandma was code, right? And but just watching that, now that I think back on it, I'm like, you know, he handled death pretty legit. Like,
Yeah.
if I can handle it like that, if I can be strong like that, you know, I'd be okay.
Some people deal very well with it. I don't know how
he
that
grew
happens.
up like
It's
killing
good.
animals and shit
That's
too,
true,
though.
yeah.
Those are probably the people that think about it all the time.
Yeah.
They don't try to numb it with material things. They're like, oh, yeah, I knew she was going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm good.
that's what I think.
Yeah.
They talked about
Those
that a
people
lot
are
in the documentary
awesome.
about how
That's how Tammy's going to
we
be.
buy all
Yeah.
our groceries and all our meat and shit from the grocery store. We don't really see things get killed
Mm-hmm.
for our benefit anymore. We don't really see a lot of that unless you're, you know, shit out of luck inside of a mass shooting or,
Well,
you know,
in
Or in
hit by a
Texas.
rock. Or in
good old
Texas.
Texas. Well, and you know, you used to have to like prepare your loved one for death. So after they died, you took care of their body.
You cleaned them.
Yeah, and like dressed them and put them in a box and put them in the ground. You
don't
dug
do
the
that no
fucking
more.
hole.
Get
Like,
him out back, Kenji.
yeah.
I didn't, which I didn't know, like that extent of it. But you know, you think about the Modcats that, you know, if Grandpa, like they were poor for a while, and he had to kill. They killed everything that they ate, and I think about it. That's probably partially to do with why he handled it so well.
Right.
And he had military, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he was just like, well, it happens.
Yeah.
Unless he was on the baseball team.
Yeah.
It's like this dude I work with. He talks about his dad's military time.
Yeah.
And he was in the military, but he was on the baseball team. And he would just travel
What?
around with the baseball team,
That's
playing other
awesome.
countries' armies.
Dude, that's badass.
Yeah.
I love.
Oh, so he never seen anything to do with the war. He just
No.
played baseball.
He was a baseball player.
Yeah,
Wow.
like you might be weapons and you might be IT.
So
on
If
baseball.
it gets uppity, I'm going to crush their skull with the bat, but I'd like to think we could play this game above board.
I wonder if like their football, because Army, Navy, and all them, they have like football team. I wonder if they're the same way, where they don't see active duty. They're just
Yeah.
playing for the team, if you will.
That's very interesting.
Probably. Yeah.
I feel like I typically deal with death okay and something, but his death, your death,
Right?
no, I can't even imagine how fucking horrible that would be
Yeah.
at all.
The last big one I remember was Papaw.
Yeah.
And we cracked jokes through that.
Yeah. I think that helps a lot too, how your family deals with it. Because his family is just like ours. They laugh and have a good time. And they get fucking rowdy at theirs. It's awesome.
The only shit that really ends up bumming me out is it's like everybody else's reaction. Like if everybody's all depressed and shit,
Yeah.
it either makes me sad or I just think it's funny. I'm like, yes, let's document this.
You should definitely. I mean, and I certainly get sad. I mean, you know, I think I've cried at every funeral I've ever gone to, but it's not like I can't go on at this point. There are some people who can't fucking
Put me in there with them.
I think that's a lot of people, because I have some people in my family I feel like that, you know what I mean? Like, it really crushes them when stuff like that goes down. And I feel like maybe that's the way that you lived with them. And if you felt like your life was complete while they were here. And if you have regret and remorse, I feel like you can't go on, right? Because sometimes it's such a big mountain to climb that you just sit down at the bottom and like, I'm not doing this, right? And you kind of lose it, and then you're nothing with it because they were partially your identity, you know? So maybe that has something to do with it.
I'd say definitely that closeness and connection that you have with them. Like when Granny died, I was a mess. Like I cried forever. I will still cry to this day thinking about her dying. It's terrible.
If my mom and dad went,
but I don't care now.
if my mom and dad went, I'd be pretty okay with that, because I don't really have regrets with them.
Love
you
you,
know
Mom.
what I mean? Yeah. I don't have regrets with my parents.
Right.
See you for Arbor Day.
And we don't hold any secrets either, so there's nothing that I want to find out in their death that I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You just sealed your fate on that one.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some fucked up
They're gonna
letter.
I surely hope so, dude. I really, really do. That'd be awesome. If y'all haven't done it yet, you better start now. Do some fucked up shit and don't tell us.
Get on it.
Yeah, it makes you wonder that, because I always all day long think of like people and how they view the world, and it has to be different than the way I do, and I like evidently so, because I think about death often. I think about the weird shit in life. I constantly think, like, try to look through the eyes of other people, not because I fucking feel bad for them or I feel empathy. I just want to know.
Yeah, it's curiosity.
Yeah, I would love to see the world through your eyes just for one day. Like your worries, your fucking thing. I mean, most of the stuff is petty and ignorant and whatever.
And then you'd walk around you, and you're like, what do these people think about me?
Yes.
And you'd
Apparently
slap
nothing.
them if they judged you.
Apparently everybody
they're thinking
feels
about themselves.
Yeah, they did studies on that, and like everybody feels like people around them are characters inside of their movie.
Yeah.
So they always feel like the main character, and honestly, we don't think outside of like ourselves. That's why a lot of, we're getting to a point where we'll film somebody getting murdered by the police.
Right.
But we won't help because we're kind of like, this is happening to me, and I'm taking this video.
I'm going to have this great video to show people.
Yeah. Instead of stepping in and doing something.
Well, it's the idea of documenting and being a journalist or whatever.
So everybody's
everybody going to do? Run up on the cops and like kick them in the throat? Get off that criminal!
They somebody could have saved George Floyd if they went up and just drop kicked that piece of shit in the face.
I was watching a video of some
5-minute rule.
It was in Canada, and it was this younger kid. I think he was over the age of 18, but he was still like 20, I think. And the cops were just fucking him up, and someone was recording him. And I don't usually feel that way. Usually the shit just makes me sad. Right, but I immediately thought, oh my God, why would you not hit this fucking cop? Because
or at least
I
throw
would.
something at him
I would
to distract him from that kid. If he was like, you better calm down, because what he said was like, you better calm down or I'm going to like take you in too. Well, then go over there and slap him in the face and then get taken off.
Take me in, dude.
Yeah, then it takes the whatever, the attention away from the guy that's, getting fucked up on the ground. I like though that he like pistol whipped him with his taser, but he didn't have a grip, and he hit like a bitch, and it went like out of his hand.
He hit like a bitch.
No, but things like that are you hear a lot like those not a lot those times where people like film their friend getting raped by like 2 or 3 guys.
What? Where's this video?
It's online. There's well, not the rape, but
okay.
her getting locked up for it.
I would say that it's not there, but she recorded
That's
her
dark.
friend getting attacked.
Pleading for help.
Yeah. And just kept
Just kept filming.
I will not be speaking to you again,
Yeah,
man.
obviously not her friend.
Yeah.
I think she
A
even
loose
live streamed
acquaintance.
it. It was live streamed.
Yeah.
So it was.
Oh,
like,
that's what it was. Yeah, it was live streamed.
and that's what like bugs me about it is that we're becoming like a race of people where the main character in our movie has become like accented by social media and blown up, and now we have this overly sense that we have to be something. And
But nobody wants to be a
stuff.
hero. Everybody
No.
just wants to capture shit.
Yeah. Like that dude that they set up that thing, and he was like Snapchatting, was like, yo, I'm about to go help all these homeless people clean up the park, puts his phone down, and they record him doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And then they asked him about that, and he was like, oh, they've already done cleaning after my post, so I didn't feel the need to help them. Well, then don't post it because you're a lying piece of shit.
Yeah.
What?
the
Where was
majority
it? Where was that country recently where they had a coup?
Oh, I can't even say the fuck. Yeah.
Where, like that chick was doing the like the workout video or whatever, like in the streets, and like she was filming herself. And in the
Get outta here.
background, there's like tanks rolling in, and people are just
Oh,
getting
yeah.
fucked up.
That's fucking
And
crazy.
she's like, and a 1 and a 2.
Don't ever lose focus.
Yeah.
That's great.
My
viewers need this.
Myanmar, MyanMar, M-Y-A-N. Yeah.
Myanmar.
Myanmar. Yeah.
You're
That's where it happened. Like,
Yarn.
I think they're fighting fascism.
Yeah.
I think it's funny too, though, like
That's
how.
all anybody fights.
Oh, I know, but we'll fight it here when we
Yeah.
have no fascism, right? But we
Right.
just have like a snicker of somebody saying fascism, and then they're like, fight it. But over there, like it's legit, and they're killing
Yeah.
people, and they fight. Like they're actually fighting a thing and protesting for real. And
Yeah.
we're over here like, we're protesting. Put me up on Facebook Live right now.
Look, we're all down here with corn dogs. We're a community now.
We got the DJ out front. We're fucking protesting now. They're getting grenades thrown at them and shit.
corn dogs and DJs, huh?
Hell yeah.
That's what blows me away. Like, we'll have these protests and stuff. Like, even the stuff with, like, Trump, right? That was like a fake protest to me. Like, they were like, they had all the stuff. They give them all this document. Like, they were just doing that shit, like, for no reason, right? In my opinion.
You mean where
right?
they were taking like selfies with the Capitol Police and stuff?
Yeah, and well, you get what I'm saying? Like, the
That's just not happening in China.
Right. And like these other places where they're actually held down, they're actually abused, they're actually fucking like here in America, you got it good enough where that shouldn't have been a thing. Like Trump lost.
It's not perfect, but by comparison.
Yeah. By comparison.
Yeah.
When you put us up against these other countries, like, dude, like you might want to like slack off a little bit on
Well,
the
I
saying
would
you got
say
it bad.
the
Or
Trump
actually
shit,
protest in
that's
proper places.
yeah.
Sorry.
The Trump shit, like, that's just stupid. Like, get the fuck over it. Like, how much? God, I read an article last night. It says it thus far as like $519 billion of taxpayers' money has been spent
What?
with him basically protesting it, saying it was all false and saying that he won. Whether that's, trying to fix the Capitol and all of that, but everything that they've been able to quantify is it's a lot of fucking money. That I do think all that's bullshit, but just because it's worse in other places doesn't mean that you shouldn't fight for your rights.
No, yeah,
Dude,
but
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I think that we could pinpoint more on what we're fighting for and fight for that instead of like this
there
wide
should-
range of fighting for everything. Apparently,
There should definitely be a collective mind if you're gonna
yeah,
be fighting for
that's
something.
pretty much what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
collectively, like get together, get a list of demands.
Yeah, this
Let's
is
fight
what we
this.
want. That way, if you ask someone, what are you fighting for? It's the same answer from everybody.
Some of
It
those
might-
motherfuckers
might
would be
vary
there.
a little,
Yeah.
but it's the same general
Some
idea.
of those
That'd be
people
nice.
be at those protests and they'll go up and ask them like, "What are you here for?" And they don't like the answers they give.
I'm here for
are
the corn
so
dogs.
off the wall. Yeah,
I'm here to fight fascism.
yeah.
I'm here for my rights.
Yeah.
And then they'll put like the journalists will be like, okay, and then they'll try to get their side of the story. It ends right there, just
Yeah.
like somebody telling you about like Christianity, it ends at, oh, it says it in the Bible.
Yeah.
That's all they know.
Someone on Facebook told me I should come down here, so I did.
Yeah.
I wish people would just say that.
I've been unemployed for 6 months and my life is terrible, so I'm going to try to change the world instead of myself.
Fucking bored.
Yeah. It's baffling what like a social media presence of a certain thing will do to people and then change their opinion and get them to believe some shit. Like I was saying, we were watching that guy from Vice where he was like, he created a fake restaurant, he created a fake app, a fake clothing company
Yeah,
and
dude,
shit.
it's hilarious.
And nailed it, dude. Like nailed it.
He
right?
created a fake restaurant and became the number one. He never served
on
anybody.
TripAdvisor.
When people would call, he would say they didn't have any tables for months and months and months.
People, dude.
And they were
get blown
number
up.
one. And he finally had people come. It was his backyard.
Yeah.
And they had microwave food. Well,
And they were like,
Yeah.
man, this is so good. They just put like little fucking like edible flowers and shit on these heat up meals. And they were like, this is so fucking good.
it was crazy.
That presence of like getting your like this name out there, or like whatever, put an idea out on social media if it catches on. Now if it doesn't, then you're just a flat earth retard, and this is gonna be like it's gonna end right with that. But like get out there, like if you really get these massive, it has a huge effect on how we think. Now think about what the government's using that for, right? And I'm not saying anything. I'm not conspiracy theory like the government's out to get us, but I'm just saying.
Sounds
Say
like
they
it.
were, right? If you say like that microclimate that he just showed, right? Oh, I can create it like this. I'm joking. I'm a prankster. Imagine what the government puts out that you don't know about. Like they can put it out in like little crackers that you were like, ooh, I got found a cracker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crackers.
Yeah.
I love everything you're saying right now.
And you pick up these crackers and you get down this like rabbit hole, and then you're like, holy fuck, like, you know, and then you believe the list of fucking conspiracy
How
theories.
did I get here? Why is the hole closed? Aww.
Oh man, it got me
Into
again.
the lava pit. And then you hear Boogaram. Boogaram. Shit.
It makes me wonder. That's why, you know, I don't really tune in too much. I know that when I'm physically on social media, that I'm doing something to preoccupy my boredom, right? And that I don't want to fucking go out and rake the leaves or some shit because I'm looking, I'm using my thumb to the best of my ability. But
You're on point today.
think about the people that like they don't know that, and they don't think. You know, they don't think. What is it when you think beyond like the actual ideal? You're thinking when you see all
Deep.
points. You're thinking objectively, right? A lot of people don't think objectively. They think about what's right in front of them, what they perceive to be real, right there in front of them, and then that's it.
They make their decision about this huge issue based off one fucking thing.
Yeah, technically one thing that got them down this rabbit hole of multiple other things.
Done. This is fact. I saw this one statement. It's fact.
And you can't believe in anything. So if you think about everything objectively, you can view all the points and still be yourself without putting a label on yourself or being a part of a political party or a religion or whatever. You could just be like, oh yeah, I know those people. They fucking do some weird shit with animals and whatever. But you know, I think about that. You know, most people aren't that way. So if the government was like, I wonder what we can get these idiots to do now.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be hard for them.
No.
It would not be hard for them.
No.
And they have more control.
I feel like they've already done it many times.
I think so, man. Especially that's why we know the system works, because they used to do it back when screens were black and white. And you had like 5 stations to look at, you know? Now they have this whole vast, I don't know, tool to
and
fuck
at the
with.
end of the day of broadcasting, there was the eagle and the flag.
What was it called? War of the Worlds?
Probably.
Radio.
Yeah, the radio broadcast,
Yeah.
and everyone thought that they were being taken over by
That was awesome.
aliens. Yeah, it's
People were
hilarious.
genuinely terrified.
Yeah, dude.
And I listened
shit
to
is
that,
funny.
and I think I could see where people might think that at first.
Right.
But I mean, it says at the beginning.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. This is the guy that's going to tell me about the end of the world.
Well, and at a certain point, like, you don't see shit going on, and it's wild based off what they're saying to you,
Yeah.
and you don't see anything anywhere. Don't you think it's a story?
Nobody's ballsy enough to get in there with cameras.
Yeah.
It's more funny to me that the people that will scream at the top of their lungs, "Get out of the Matrix," are the ones that are so attached to the Matrix that it leads them around like a dog with a donut. Like,
Well, I think it's because they want everybody else to get out of it and then bring them along.
Yeah. I don't want to have to do anything, so you
they just want to amp you up to get out of the Matrix.
tell me where you've taken shelter, and I'll meet you there.
Did you guys see that they might have leaked the title of the new Matrix movie?
No.
Did you know they had like Matrix Reloaded and then like Revolutions?
Uh-huh.
But now there's Resurrection.
Oh, shit, dog.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple things about like them making it. People with their cameras and stuff, seen them jump off roofs and shit. And it leaked then that they were coming out with a new one, which I'm pretty jacked about.
I
Yeah.
have to make sure the third one is Revolutions.
I need to, I guess, watch them.
I think you're right, though. I can see that.
Last week, I said rain on me. It was rain over me. Couch sent me a
Rain over
text
you.
about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
you
don't know.
motherfucker.
Now you say Revolution makes me think maybe that's a different movie.
Maybe fuck you.
Maybe.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Like Resident Evil Revolution.
Oh, yeah. It's
You know,
definitely
I
what
see
it is.
that more
That
than
Yeah,
is-
it's Revolutions. Bam.
That is
Damn.
for sure a movie, though.
Fuck you, couch. I know movies. Worthless bitch.
Psh, apparently not.
Yeah, I know. He's better than me.
He just knows everything.
He does.
Yeah. We need to have him or both of them on again.
Yeah.
them.
Or her, any of them. Any combo.
Them.
Them.
But boredom will fuck you up, man. Boredom and isolations are two things that will really fuck you up. And I think we're very susceptible to things like that right now. I think that a lot of people will join a cult before all this lockdown stuff is
Because
over.
everybody's
and shit.
bored and been isolated for a year.
That's
so
where
many
a lot of-
people have been without jobs. They have nothing to do.
That's where this rabbit hole with the Trump stuff and all the conspiracies that followed that
Yeah.
really came to light. It's why you hear a lot of people say that, oh, I didn't care about politics. I didn't care about
Until
none
a
of this
year ago.
A year ago.
Yeah.
It's because you get locked down, isolated, things get kind of
Mm-hmm.
more in this bubble of, confusion and stuff, and you're more susceptible to be lied to or to come across something on the vastness of social media and be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's true. I watched a bunch of videos and like, no.
Ain't it?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's where it becomes like, I think we're in a weird time right now because we've never been locked down to this extent. Not locked down because a lot of us haven't been, let's face it.
Yeah. Some states don't even have masks.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
There's countries that were truly locked down for months.
Yeah.
And so like,
Here, we'll give you all your money and food. Just stay home.
yeah.
Oh, okay, great. But America, my freedom.
No,
My
of
freedom.
course.
God, that makes me so
It's-
mad.
dude, I don't even.
Fucking angry.
I think about it daily.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking stupid.
People make the argument. They're like, oh, lockdowns. They don't work. We're on our third one. It's like, you
Because-
keep leaving the fucking house.
Yeah.
And not wearing a mask. What do you...
There's not
What do you
once
expect?
technically been a lockdown.
They're not going to
No.
make me neutral. They're neutralizing us. We're
Now
not
they're
even men
neutralizing
anymore.
me. It's like Ronnie Dobbs in the current age.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
if you're that worried about being neutralized, take a picture of this part of your face, have it printed on a mask, and then wear it.
For real.
Then you're you still, bro. Or
I have
lady.
anxiety about wearing something
Lady,
on my
bro.
face. I can't breathe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. There's a lot of those Karen videos with
Yeah.
where they don't wear the mask, and they're like, "Ah, the doctor's note." They were like, "We don't care."
Yeah,
We're
fuck your
Man,
doctor's note.
there's this chick at work. She had a doctor's note because she had like asthma and shit, And she's like, oh, I don't have to wear a mask. And then for like a few months she didn't, but now she does.
yeah,
Her
you'll die
asthma has
quicker.
been cured.
Yeah.
That's
Fucking idiot.
Like, I have asthma, and it does
Wouldn't you want her to wear the mask more?
absolutely because your
Yeah.
lungs are gonna get fucking destroyed, bitch.
Yeah,
it's
you're
retarded.
gonna die quicker.
And I noticed after like a certain one, as soon as I put it on, I can tell a difference, but I can still fucking breathe well enough
Right.
to go and do. You're not supposed to be out and about anyway, so to go to the store and purchase some fucking produce, I can breathe well
Like,
enough.
suck it the fuck up.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the
not
thing
gonna
that-
die
It's
while I'm
annoying,
there.
like in my particular case, is, at work, 8-hour work day.
Oh yeah, it'd be
And
terrible.
they're like, oh, wear a mask. I could see people complaining about that, but if you're going to Target, just stop being a fucking bitch.
For real, it's ridiculous.
You heard it here.
I know.
Stop
Stop
being
being
a
a bitch. It should definitely be our motto.
No,
Yeah.
it's true. Like, I agree with that, like, working and shit, because when I'm in it or up in an attic and stuff, which I take it off when I'm in the attic, but if I'm, like, right with the customer, even if I'm working, I throw it up to make sure, but even if they tell me it's okay, because the people that tell me it's okay, God love my customers, I'm like, you seem like the person that would walk into Target and start some shit because you don't want to wear a mask.
It's okay because you're not wearing one, because you
Yeah.
know, like, they have to know you're going in and out of homes constantly.
Right.
So you're around a lot of people.
Maybe they don't think it's real.
I swear.
Maybe they're
95% of people that need electrical work don't believe
they
it.
don't even believe.
We should definitely do a survey.
Yeah.
I'll do a follow-up call. Be like, I just want to ask
believe
you
in
some
masks?
questions about
Would
COVID.
you like to take a
Yes.
survey?
Yeah.
Very specific, but you're like, it's a
Action
generalized question.
If a brick didn't know how to sit on walls no more, what would you axe it?
What the fuck?
That was from a Chris Rock album.
Thank you. I was like, what the fuck is that from?
Words of wisdom from the ODB.
That's great. Oh, man, that makes me happy.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, where do you I've also watched a lot of the people that you talk about, like Edison, which I do. That's the things like I look up. Of course, I'm an electrician. Those things are I would look up, but I'm sure there's things that you've studied in your life and you look up videos and stuff. But I look up that and then things of like the progression of electric and shit. And I told Sarah, it's so funny because I've always heard that the father of the light bulb, the grandfather of the light bulb, is Edison, right?
Right.
And the grandfather of AC electric is Tesla. But technically, you're talking about 100 years, maybe less, right? Of all these scientists that come up with little bits and pieces, right? And then finally you get to Tesla, and Tesla put all those pieces together and made that better, made their inventions better.
Right.
So now he goes down in our history books as the person who created AC. Because if you talk to a lot of electricians, that's what they'll say.
Yeah.
Not true. Like, he just capitalized on the ideal and made it better.
Right.
Same with, like, they say Edison for DC power. Like, that's all his. Technically, it's not. And the light bulb wasn't all his. There was a light bulb already in, like, Europe or some bullshit. But all he did was take the invention and improve on it and make it better.
Yeah, he got a patent, and they're just like, Would you say the dude that invented TVs isn't the guy that put it all together, but the guy that first invented the electrical cord?
Ooh.
I would say the guy that created the first, like, image on film, whether that's, like, photography or anything. He found how to transfer through a lens into film. I would say that he should get the credit, or she should get the credit for that matter.
We know.
Right.
And we know it was a white guy, too.
But no, you look at all that stuff and it baffles me, right? Because I think about our time period and from me growing up, right? We have stagnated as much as, like, it looks like we're improving, right? It does, right? We're so far advanced. Look at Elon Musk. Look at him go. Look at him go.
Look at him.
Look at all he's doing. Look at him go. Technically, Tesla's taking things that were already in the book and then making them better.
Yeah,
right?
I posed this question though, like, of course people are going to draw off other people, because if everyone just started over from scratch, if it takes hundreds of
You
years
have
to discover something, like, what do you do in that situation then? I mean,
No,
Who do
I
you
completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, you have to. So it should be a collective, and I think everybody should be mentioned.
they should
when,
add some additional names to
Oh
the
yeah,
list.
I think
Okay.
it's a like lazy journalism. Do the Tesla and Edison thing,
Yeah.
and then with other inventors, it's a lazy fucking thing.
Philo Taylor Farnsworth.
That's a
Oh, for the
great
television?
name.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. And then now I have to look that up and see, like, the history of the television, like, leading up to it,
Yeah.
like how'd they get there.
It's quite a
What was his
road.
last name?
Farnsworth.
But my thing is, like, that's okay, but I think at this point, like, from the 90s, even the 80s, let's say, I think we've stagnated, and all we keep doing is just taking the things that are here now and just making them a little better.
We're like Taco
then-
Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, look at this thing I made, and look what I invented. Well, yeah, I get that you made that invention, right? And it's really cool, and it helps us out. But it's something we've already, like, I'm talking about completely new things
Right.
You know, like colliding, electrons together to get the Higgs boson.
Yeah.
Like that kind of revolutionary thinking. Not, this dude has a light bulb, but I want to make one better, and then I'm going to market it better.
Yeah, I'm going to paint it red. I invented the red light bulb.
Yeah.
It's definitely ridiculous that
I don't know what argument I'm fucking making here, but I'm thinking we're stagnating, right?
It sounds like you're saying if you want to make a pie from scratch, you have to first invent the universe.
Pretty much.
Yeah, definitely.
That was Sagan. I didn't make that up.
That's okay. Shh, it's okay. No one will ever know except Couch. And
That's what I
fuck
wanted
him.
to say. I was like, I want people to learn. I don't want them to think I'm smart.
I think about like that stagnation and just seeing like, I'm just wondering, I'm curious as to what is that new Higgs boson, for that matter, or the new light bulb, or the new sliced bread, or like whatever. So where do we
thing
go?
that'll separate the CO2 or whatever?
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah, that'll help us out tremendously.
Time travel.
A thing, time travel, yeah, or something that will create darkness, rather than just being the absence of light. You know,
Right.
It's like you walk into a room that's well lit. It's like turn on my darkness machine.
Yeah, dude. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would make me happy.
Uh-huh.
Put,
we need to get on
like
that.
a filter, like a photon filter.
Yeah.
I mean, not like a real filter, not sunglasses type shit or tinted windows.
Top dollar shit.
I'm telling you, like, it actually replaces the photons with whatever darkness is. Lack of photons, I guess. Fuck on.
I love that idea.
Lack of photon machine.
Yes. Would they just be a different colored photon? Would it technically be? It wouldn't be a photon because photon is light. So
Yeah. A no-ton.
Photon machine. No.
yeah.
I like
No,
it.
but
Get on that.
I think about those things. Like, what would be the next GPS or the next internet, for that matter? Like, I mean, we could go on and on. What's the next? But like, I think we need to get to a point where we're actually inventing instead. Which I give it up to Elon Musk for all he's doing. He's really stepping outside the box and being a privately owned company. The amount of work he's able to do without the red tape is awesome. Keep going. Like, that's who we need. We need more of them.
Yeah.
But even he knows that he has to put this huge group of people to work because he can't do it on his own.
Right.
No, not enough hours in the day.
Yeah. So he pulls all these big name scientists and he has them work with him. You know, they're all scientists and engineers and you fucking name it. Like,
Makers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're making revolutionary shit. But, you know, yeah. You get
It's
what I'm
like,
saying?
here's a car, but it's a better car. Here's a rocket, but it's a better rocket. Here's a drilling machine, but it's a better drilling machine.
Like, let's
Here's a
stop doing that.
flamethrower, but it's not a flamethrower.
The flame catcher.
Catcher.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Done. That'd be cool.
It's an ice mitt.
We're
It only works 3 times.
The third time's questionable.
No,
Where
that's
can we get that shit though?
those are things that plague me, I think. But I don't know how you get there, like we had talked about, because there's no, it takes these little steps to get to the light bulb, to get to the AC motor, to get to whatever. And it's I don't know, it's just baffling, dude. And a lot of things come from accident. A lot of things, like LSD, came from accident.
Yeah.
Like, I want to create the next LSD. You hear me? I just want to stumble upon something that
Oh, majorly
doesn't make
fucked
my
up
asshole
and talking to
bleed.
God. I didn't see that coming.
Didn't see it coming.
You just gotta make a really awesome mistake.
Yeah, it's pretty much what you gotta do.
Yeah. Hell
Awesome.
yeah.
And then raise it.
Raise the mistake. Like
Are you
a
trying to tell us
baby.
the Castor's pregnant?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Matt had a kid. Matt-tastic.
Aw,
Oh, no
that's
shit.
awesome.
Congratulations, Matt.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Hooray!
Yeah. My friend that you don't know had a kid too.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
go
God.
Emily.
Oh, Emily.
I like Emily.
Dude, they said, I give it up to fucking females, man.
God, love her.
48 hours of straight contractions.
I'd like to curse them for continuing the human race.
Well, can you imagine which you know because you don't have a vagina and vagina's correct in this moment, like because it's stretching
whole
also,
baby.
like it's slowly getting bigger.
Ugh.
So for 2 fucking days, your vagina's growing just
slightly.
It's not doing a very good job at it. Yeah.
No.
God.
That
And
sucks.
That skin between your gooch
Yeah.
is gonna rip. Like that's a known fact. It happens every time almost. Just rips
I don't know
open.
if I'd say every time.
I was thinking like
No, I said
80%.
almost every time.
Oh, okay.
I said every time almost.
Oh,
I didn't put it-
okay.
Yeah.
80%.
You
I got it
usually
from
shit on
Scrubs.
yourself.
It's true.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Look, and then after you have a baby, you got to deliver the placenta. It doesn't just fall out. Oh, you're a dick. It doesn't just fall
got
out. Of course, I guess after you've just pushed a baby out, placenta doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I assume it's like it
Gelatin.
doesn't have arms. Yeah, so it's not like trying to grab you.
I got
I
a
wonder
really promiscuous aunt, and she's had a lot of kids.
Yeah,
At a certain point, don't they just fall out?
Yeah.
pretty close.
Yeah, like you don't even know. Like you'll be just texting, like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I got a baby." You know,
Hell
How did
yeah.
that get in there?
you don't even notice it at that point.
Yeah.
Right?
I wonder if placentas all like look different. I mean, like I'm sure
Oh,
they
yeah.
have like a similar,
Yeah.
gelatinous shape.
There's like a foundation they're based on, but like this
Yeah.
one might be a little more purple than
Yeah.
the other ones.
Oh,
Or
for
does this
sure.
one look like a star? I
Yeah,
mean,
all vaginas look different.
Have any ever
Yeah.
looked like Jesus?
dude,
I found Jesus in my placenta.
Oh, I
Yes.
can't wait for somebody to do that, and then
Yeah.
everybody comes to pray to the placenta.
Hell yeah.
that's shaped like Jesus.
Cut
Yeah,
me off
dude.
a sliver.
this one looks like bamboo.
Like eventually,
Great.
this is what fucks me up because they always view those as miracles and shit, and it wound up on bread and in the clouds and blah 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 blah
yeah,
blah.
like that didn't happen by mistake.
And and no.
Or
And the
coincidence.
human race loves to put fucking thought and label on everything, right? And they're like, this is a miracle from God himself, right? But let's think about the vastness of the universe and the infinite amount of possibilities there are for the shape of a cloud, the burn in a piece of toast, the stain on the wall, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, not only are you going to have Jesus, but you're also going to have Godzilla.
I wasn't
Yeah.
staying on
Eventually.
the wall from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But like
Watermark.
with all of the possibilities that could ever be, eventually you're gonna see a cloud the shape of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So stop fucking. It was just so happened that you see this stupid cloud.
Yeah, clouds, everyone sees them differently anyway. So if you could say, oh my gosh, it's the Virgin Mary, and then
And I
5
see a
seconds
dick.
later, yeah, exactly. And you see a
Yeah.
penis. So done. Clouds are
bullshit.
stupid. Well, I
And
like
so are the
clouds.
people who see Jesus in them. That's what we're
Those
saying.
people are stupid.
Especially
I like
considering we
clouds.
don't know what he looks like and we're basing it on the white guy painting.
I know,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, fuck me.
Man. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Got on
Cool.
a placenta rant.
Yeah. Gotta love those.
Hell yeah.
Placenta.
I'll have one every week now. From this
Dude,
moment forward.
That was episode 96. I'm sad to see it come to an end. I love fucking with you guys. I love the people who listen to us every week. We appreciate you coming and
like 'em.
showing out
Well
for
enough.
us.
Yeah.
yeah.
All
Thanks,
like 14 to 24 of you.
We appreciate you.
No.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hopefully one day you can say you were on the ground level of this bullshit we're talking, and we might go somewhere with this. So hopefully after 100 it happens.
Yep,
But you know, it might be
101.
1,000.
On a bone.
We might be 80 old as fuck, like doing a
Hell yeah.
podcast, and then it
To
becomes
like
big.
52 people.
But you could say you were there in the beginning if you keep
And
listening.
then I'd just be mad. I'm rich now and I can't move.
You can't even barely wipe your ass.
Well, at that point, you could probably just buy new bones and a new body and shit. So.
I'm hoping, dude.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Ooh,
No.
buying new bones. That's neat.
No, that was
I'll take that bag of bones.
Yeah.
No, the one to shelf up.
that was episode 96.
96.
or
What?
26. What the fuck?
You're dumber than me.
No, we really appreciate the people that listen, and we hope that one day you can say you were on the ground level of this amazing podcast. We appreciate you listening. Come back next week.
Skibbity bop 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 bop.
I don't have
Bitch, I'm gonna drop you.
I know. He hates it.
Wildly
Brr.
Interesting Podcast.